They say wonders never end. There's a new wonder that has happened, and gets you wondering what's going on. What's going on? How far do we intend to take this? Well, let me just spill the tea. So the thing is this: the Sahel countries, talking about Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, have decided to impose a 0.5% levy on imported goods from Nigeria and other Ecowas countries. So the question is, how far do we intend to take this? We thought that after Niger asked for petrol supply from Nigeria, we're getting somewhere with peace talk, letting bygones be. But it seems no, no, no. That's not the case with the Sahel states. What's going to happen with this new development? Imported goods from Nigeria now will attract a levy of 0.5% except for humanitarian aid. That's the new development. To talk about this, we have Dr. David Masanga, who is an African affairs analyst, and it joins us virtually this morning. Dr. Masanga, good morning. Great to see you again.
Good morning and greetings from Amsterdam, Netherlands, where I am still trying to fix Africa. First of all, I want to thank you for fixing Africa. And I want to thank my friend that is the way. Some of you have said something. I was listening to you for 30 minutes. Thank you. We are not honest. That is the whole Africa on power and electricity. What? We are in trouble. My own country has a problem. But thank you very much for fixing Africa. Thank you.
All right, so I appreciate that you're trying to fix Africa. We are in that business together. You know that, right?
Yes. And I want to thank my friend in the again. Yeah, let him stay in that suit. So I am still in my African attire. So I'm ready to fix. Let's go.
We're in for an exciting time this morning. All right, so let's get into the issues. So the Sahel state, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso imposing a levy of 0.5% on imported goods from Nigeria and other ECOWAS countries. And they say they seek this to fund a new three-state union after leaving ECOWAS. Is this taking the, let me borrow the word, beef? Is this taking the disputes between the Sahel state and ECOWAS too far?
First of all, thank you for inviting me this morning. I have been in all the three states. I have traveled in Burkina Faso. The younger gentleman in Burkina Faso is a great friend of mine. I've traveled in Niger. I've gone to Mali. They are friends of mine. I find something very, very strange happening in that region. One, we create problems ourselves as Africans. African Union, ECOWAS, East African Community, SADC. We create problems of our own. We have an obnoxious AU charter that has created us the monster we are going to have very soon in Africa. That once there is no democracy, democratic or a coup or this, you throw that sun out. While in Europe, they are busy cuddling that sun. That is one of the points that one of your panelists in your own presentation a few minutes were doing. As we fight, they are taking our meat. They are eating our meat. Have you seen now? They have divided you people there now. And that is why you see Sahel region organization is, hello, we are the same. We are same Africans. We have the same color. But when you bring your here, you have to pay levy. Where did the rain start beating us? But even you go there, there's something touched me. Nigeria has 241 falls. Did you know, people? Research yourselves. 241 waterfalls. But you import generators. You pollute. You are polluting. You are talking about power, power, power. There is more power to be produced in that country that nobody, everybody in Nigeria will have light in the smallest of Abia, smallest state of the town of Onitsha, Enugu, Madiguri. Everybody have light, but we are not people. Now these young men across the border are saying, hello, we don't want to operate the way we are. You people operate, but before you bring in your goods here, give us some levy. Let's start from there, my dear.
Dr. Masanga, sorry, I am still wearing my suit. One day I will throw it away so that I can dress African. But the challenge I have now is that to even find the African fabric is a big challenge and a problem because we have subletted that sector to China and Bangladesh. Now, coming to the challenge that we face as Africans, we look at what happened in Berlin in 1885, 1884, 1885. Look at Nigeria, for example. Cousins are separated by a single line between Niger and Nigeria in the northern part. And if you come to the southern part here, between Badagry and Cotonou, people speaking the same language, same dialect, separated by colonial line. And this is greatly affecting the unity of Africa. What do you think we can do to actually remedy that unfortunate incident that happened in Berlin?
You are right. We must have a renaissance. If we don't have a renaissance, let's go to Atlantic Ocean and bury ourselves, die first. Because we have not looked at China, my brother. 40 years ago, China was the poorest country on planet Earth. With one rice scheme in my country, they were producing rice and enjoying some of half with us. Today, China has come back. 40 years past. It did what we call, you remember the five, after Mao Zedong's death, the big five, the disagreements. China went back to the drawing table. Africa needs to go back to the drawing table. We have a lot of symptoms of neocolonial traits that are creating us the disunity that we have. We speak the same things, we do the same things the way the French want us to do, the way the English want us to do. Isn't it time to do a renaissance? Why then did Europe have a renaissance? Where I am here in Amsterdam, they had a renaissance. They have even pushed the ocean very far. A few meters away from here, if you drive about 50 kilometers, the ocean has been pushed. That is when they started developing. One brother in the studio said, if you don't have a power, you can't produce. You can't be economically, however strong you are. A population of 250 million people, 1.4 billion Africans are still looking for power. Generators, buying generators. If a plane falls in Indian Ocean or Atlantic, you'll find how many generators will come out of that plane. We are polluting our continent instead of looking for ways, governments looking for ways. So we need a renaissance.
Yes, we have our guest, Dr. Masanga, back with us. The question that Priya was asking before the disconnection happened is, do you suspect some foreign influence in this? There have been talk about Africa trading with itself. There is the AfCFTA agreement. How does this impact it at the end of the day? And what countries would suffer from a policy like this?
Thank you very much, my sister. Anytime I come to my friend here, the other younger gentleman, I will we lose the internet. But you have a point there. There is external influence that we must speak out against and call out.
All right, Dr. Masanga, thank you for joining again. Now, as we go forward, what should be the consciousness of the rest of Africa. What message do you have for the Sahel states? Now they're locking themselves out, and do you see them being able to sustain locking themselves out from the rest of Africa, just like China did? Do they have what it takes to continue on that route?
I want to ask my brother, younger brother there, to travel to Burkina Faso and ask for $10,000 only. He will get it in 5 minutes. And I want to ask him to come back to Kaduna or Maiduguri or Abuja and ask for $10,000 to go medical treatment abroad. My brother, what is democracy now? The younger guys, I don't support militarism. Man, I know how a gun pains us. Brother, listen to me. A gun pains. And I know how I fought a war in 1978 against to remove him. But let me tell you one thing. The guys in Burkina, Mali, and Niger are doing things that civilian governments don't do. Allah, they don't do it. So be honest. I am not an NGO to come here to praise civilian governments that don't perform. No. Your Ecowas has been there. There is a Sahel region. I've taken over the whole of the Sahel region. Ecowas sings, Ecowas, bring money. These boys are confronting the terrorists. And who brings those? France. Yes, when it doesn't like you, it goes to install a man who will like their policy so that they take your uranium. Hello? These boys have stopped uranium going out. They sell it. They buy and build it. Governors have got 20 gasolers. You drive 20 cars. Your own state governor has 20 gasolers. They're high-range cars, which it can build hospitals. Now you are telling me we need to do. What are you? You want medicine. There is nothing in a dispensary in Abuja. You want to fly. Governor flies to San Francisco. Do you even have a visa to go to Francisco? Watch out. You don't. The governor has flown his children. He's being treated that you are in a democratic. These guys across north are setting a very good example. Do you know they are more popular some of the civilian presidents you have around there? I don't want it to be to my friend.
If you said these guys are setting a very good example, that example will also trickle down to taking over power. Whilst you do not support military administration, I think that's the part that we need to echo. These guys are in the top echelon of the military government before they took over the reins of power. What they noticed and observed that the civilian government was not doing, it is also in their right standing to prefer and give a word of advice to the civilian government and probably to let them know that, look, you are impoverishing our country. You are dragging us down economically by making sure you are exporting the uranium out of this country. Now, we do not want you to continue in this step. We are in the military and we have intelligence. We know what exactly it's going to trickle down, even at the head of society. Even at the United States, when you look at them, their economic power translates, their military power translates to their economic power. So the military administrations, before taking over power, should have given proper advice to the civilian governments before they took over power. And that was not done. Don't you think that would have been the right perspective to things?
On that one, now we are talking like intellectuals. First, that's very good. Let's engage them. Don't threaten them. The mistake that Ecowas, which President Tinubu must be answerable, because he's the chairman of Ecowas. I've been avoiding to mention this. I don't want television to be closed down. President Tinubu made a mistake the first time to threaten Niger, and they said he was the chairman of Ecowas. He should have not threatened men. He should have called them to engage What is killing Africa, my dear brother? You are right. We must engage these people instead of isolation. You remember Ronald Reagan, policy of engagement, the Contra affair. Do you remember Contra affair in Panama? The engagement. Let's re-engage. We have lost that African Union of re-engagement, redemption. Talk to these younger men. Call them that, please, we just come back, go back to the barracks, do the security of your country, but allow the civilians to do their voting, their election. Don't threaten them. A man who has a gun, threaten him. President Tinubu failed us there. He's the chairperson of Ecowas. The first thing he did was to fly to France to ask for what to do. His own country, your own country has problems, big ones, big. And you are the people who should make Africa work. When we look at you, as Ugandan, I feel proud, but you have failed us in Nigeria. You have failed us.
Now the situation has gotten to the point where levy is now imposed. First, it was restricting Nigeria access to Niger via visa restrictions, and now it is the Sahel states as a bloc now imposing sanction, we'll call it sanction, imposing levy on Nigeria, imported goods from Nigeria and other West African countries. What do you think will be next? Is that a way to settle this dispute, bridge this gap that now exists and is becoming more wide by the day between the Sahel states and the rest of Ecowas? Is there a chance for peace between Ecowas and the Sahel states?
I like what President Mahama is doing. He's going there to talk to them. He's talking to them to talk them back. They are part of us. They are our sons. My sister, they are our sons. Let's talk to them. Let's not threaten them. Let's not give them ultimatums based on the French money. No way. No way. No way. You are good for the problem there. These guys, if we allow them to go the way they are going, and I am glad that the AU is to reform. Let me ask one question and I leave it to the doctor in a tie, my good friend tie fashion. We have Morocco. Morocco has occupied the Sahara. Morocco has occupied the territory. And we have allowed Morocco to sit on our table. Now you go to threaten, what is the difference between Morocco, which has occupied our territory, and we have refugees in Abuja, in Uganda, in South Africa, in Kenya, Nairobi, everywhere in Algeria. Sahawaris have been chased out of their territory. And we African Union, we have brought these guys, Morocco. They even tell us they are better be in Europe than in Africa. Why have we brought them here? They take the same. Now Morocco puts more even sanctions on Africans. Do you know that you cannot, it is better to go to Algeria than going to, if you're a black man from the south of Sahara, please be careful. Because going there, you are looking, the people there beat us, they kill us, they think we're animals. We are not supposed to be in Morocco. So then you bring such a country in African Union. Tell me, Dr. Matsan, what do I do? We now condemn the younger man who has built a gold refinery that can refine African gold. You always carry refinery, your gold, and take it to Dubai, to develop Dubai. But this man has said, here in Burkina Faso, the best, he used his money. Remember, there's room for negotiation. There's room for forgiveness. There's room. That's why the Bible, if you're a Christian, the prodigal son was not thrown away. These are our prodigal sons. might have picked up arms because they saw a situation was unmanageable. Let's talk to them. Some who are their friends, we are willing to help Tinubu to talk to them if he doesn't know how to talk. To tell them, please talk. Like Mahama is hearing us. Another dictator south, one there called Paul Biya. You are near that man who is slaughtering English-speaking people. Now, tell me, how do we handle this situation as Africans? How many refugees are you having in Nigeria coming from Southern? How many? Tell me, you people. And you think, now, Paul Biya, when he's sick, flown to Switzerland, why don't you put sanctions on such a man? Look at that. And this man telling me democracy. Where, boss? The man in the truth here, that democracy. What? Paul Biya, is he giving people democracy? Is he? It's democracy in Cameroon. Are you not near there receiving refugees? So many refugees from
fixing Africa, and we do hope that it is not too late for Africa to get it right, regardless of the rift that currently exists between the Sahel states and Ecowas. We do hope that they're able to find the leaders, the chairman of Ecowas and the leaders of the Sahel states, or each of the Sahel states are able to come to a round table and come to and agree on a common ground so that Africa can move forward. Thank you so much for being passionate about bringing change in Africa.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Always keep on inviting me, and my two brothers, let's have a conversation. Today I have a conversation in Amsterdam. I am hammering France. Bring it on. I'm telling France to get out of Africa. We are fed up of this country taking our minerals, and yet the poorest people in Europe. No, enough is enough. Let's do it. Let's do it together. I am happy. I will always thank you
very much.
All right, we've been talking with Dr. David Masanga, an African affairs analyst who joined in from Amsterdam as we looked at the current issue between the Sahel state and Ecowas, with a 0.5% levy imposed by the Sahel state on goods imported from Nigeria and other Ecowas countries. Let's take a break. We'll return with another conversation. This time around, it'll be about the Nigerian economy. Just stay tuned.